Alright, y'all, we finna get into some Diddy shit real quick. Holy shit. Fuck. Let's go.
Who lives under a rock? If you haven't heard, one of Diddy's alleged freak-off tapes just leaked, and the internet is losing it. So let's talk about this very important matter, okay? So basically, this is the scoop. Yesterday, a video surfaced online of what people are calling one of Diddy's freak-off tapes, where him and an adult entertainer by the name of Sly Diggler were allegedly piping 50 Cent's BM, baby mother. Now, 50 Cent actually ended up responding to this, which honestly should be enough confirmation that the video is real, but for the sake of accuracy, and because I'm not trying to get sued by Diddy's defense team or some shit like that, I'll just call it an alleged video, okay? Now, the woman in the video, her name is Daphne Joy. She's a model in her, model, right? She's an OnlyFans star, but she's in her late 30s and she dated 50 Cent for a period of time, and they actually have a child together. Interestingly enough, Daphne actually made a statement a few hours ago after this footage leaked, saying that she did not consent to the video being released and a bunch of other stuff. So I definitely have a lot to say about that part of the situation, so we're gonna get into that in just a few minutes.
Damn, 50 wife getting creased up. Damn, damn, 50.
Okay.
Shit.
But first of all, let's address the actual footage. Now, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show the footage here because we are on YouTube. We're not on Blackie Hub. I did watch parts of the video.
Strict called Black Hub. I gotta see that shit. Oh, bro.
For research purposes, and unfortunately, I had to subject my pupils and my spiritual being to Diddy's black behind walking around in 4K. So instead of me describing the video like I'm doing a play-by-play on ESPN, how about we do this? I'm going to go on Twitter right now and scroll through some of the responses to this particular video, which should paint the picture for you, okay? So here's one tweet, and the tweet says, his DICK going soft because Diddy freak ass in the back being the fucking narrator. And then this other tweet that kind of went viral said, that Diddy video is so fucking weird. Other than the fact that he has a micro penis, all he was doing was circling the people having sex and handing the woman bottles of baby oil to rub on her body. Just a sick, perverted fuck. And this other tweet said, Diddy's the... Okay, this is too much. And this other tweet says, the Diddy up here looking like a stud, all caked up with no dick. Alright, so we're not going to read more than that, okay? Just those few tweets. That's enough, okay? Now, here's the thing. There's a few different things about this footage that people are losing it over. First of all, we all know that Diddy is, you know... We all know what he's known for. The controlling behavior, the disturbing allegations, the freak-off stories, the kind of conduct that turned his name from a music mogul into a federal cautionary tale. Okay, that part we know. But what made this footage so interesting is that this guy, okay, like this dude who's been painted as this freaked out is walking around with a shrimp dick. Now, the shrimp matter aside, in this particular footage, Diddy was basically walking around not doing nothing. Like, he was covering up his penis, right? Not putting in any work, not really doing anything, just handing baby oil to the man who was actually putting in the work so he could keep putting in the work. How the fuck is your name Diddy? How are you allegedly hosting these freak-offs and doing all this crazy stuff, and you're walking around in your own freak-off tape like you're the referee? Like, he was not even a part of the event. He was the baby oil coordinator. He was the...
Hey, hold on. Like, you can just bet. Like, he just recording like, go on now. Hit that shit right. Hit that motherfucking shit right now. Alright, you got baby oil. Come on, put some more of that shit on her now. Put some more of that shit on.
Freak off floor manager, the assistant coach. Now let's talk about what 50 Cent said, because he actually hopped on Instagram and did what 50 Cent does. So on this one post, he said, she's not a victim. Sire is his son, which 50 Cent actually, he was together with this woman, Daphne, okay? They were together for, I think, a few years. I'm not sure exactly how long, but they have a child together, and that child's name is Sire. She's not a victim. Sire is... Can you imagine going to 8th grade to find out this is your mom? The court system in LA thinks it's fine. And then on this other Instagram post, 50 Cent said, free Diddy. He has gone through enough being born with no penis. Now let's talk about what Daphne Joy, the model, okay? Let's talk about what she had to say about this whole situation, because after the footage started spreading online, Daphne actually came out with a statement, and then apparently she deleted the statement. So let's read the statement. So she starts off by saying, and she put this up as an Instagram story, it looks like. She said, everybody plays the fool sometime, and I've been the biggest fool. I just wanted my man at the time to be happy and satisfied. So she was dating Diddy as well for like a few years, I think like 4 or 5 years, something like that, okay? And then she said, I wanted to fulfill all his desires, doing freak offs, right? Even if that meant breaking my own boundaries. I deeply loved him, and I believed he loved me too. It's still so painful for me to process the harsh reality and truth of that relationship. But as time passes, and in my quiet moments, I realized that it was far from love. Why the fuck are you looking for love with Diddy? We know who Diddy is, okay? Even Stevie Wonder could see that. You ain't gonna find no love on Diddy's side. And then she says, the recent leak was a tape I never consented to being filmed. Girl, I never consented to being filmed on. I was blackmailed by the person in the video and was threatened that if I didn't give him the lump sum of money, that they would leak it on the web. I almost gave in to this demand, and once I didn't, this person eventually sold this tape to a giant media outlet. The media outlet called me one day and said that they had the tape and asked if I had any comment before the release. It was the first time I ever fainted in my life. Once the media company understood the tape they purchased was revenge porn and an extortion scheme, they backed off from broadcasting it. I know they are probably reading this, and I want to say thank you for doing the right thing, even though years later, it's come back to haunt me again. It took me all day to find the courage to rewatch my abuse. Come on. You're a grown adult. You chose to participate in this.
She lying, chat. She's fucking lying. I can sense it. I know.
Do what you gotta do, but don't come back and say that it's abuse. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second, okay? Having to watch this tape was triggering and painful because I only knew the inner turmoil and pressures I felt in those moments. I was not and was never in my right mind throughout the entirety of that relationship. Seeing myself so lost is excruciating. I just want to hold that girl in the room and get her out of there and tell her that wasn't love and she didn't need to do this for love. My heart is breaking as I type this. I wish so many things were different, but I can't take back the hands of time. I can only continue to move forward and slowly learn to love and trust myself again. I want to love and protect myself so much that I'll never come across such a harmful environment again. And this is the first time that I've ever felt a part of my own body and that my body belongs to me. I am precious, I am special, I am worthy. This I promise to hold true in my heart for the woman I am becoming and for the woman I once lost. Now here's the thing, we all know that Diddy is not like a good guy, okay? We know what he did, we know that he's not only a freak, but Diddy's a piece of shit, okay? He was on camera beating Cassie. Y'all know what he did, okay? So we know who Diddy is. And I'm not saying that Diddy's innocent or nothing like that. Again, he's not a good guy at all. But we also have to recognize that not everything that Diddy did was illegal. Like, everything in his life is not illegal when it comes to a lot of these sexual whatever situations that he was setting up. A lot of them did involve grown adults who they knew what they were getting into, and they're willingly wanting, like they willingly joined a lot of these situations, and they knew what was going on, right? So we can't say that every single thing that Diddy did was illegal. That's not true, especially considering what he got convicted for and what he did not get convicted for. So that is a fact, which is why when I'm seeing her kind of type all this stuff, I'm just not buying it. I mean, first of all, I went to her Instagram and she has OnlyFans, okay? Now, she's an adult woman. She can do what she does. I don't necessarily judge her for that because honestly, it doesn't affect me. But I just start raising my eyebrows when this whole thing gets framed like she had absolutely no idea what kind of situation she was involved in. Because from everything we can see, it does not look like this is somebody who got pulled into a room with Diddy. This was grown adults allegedly, coming together for a very specific type of situation. Diddy was there.
Meaning that she chose to do this shit. She like, okay, let's do it. Oh, bro.
And then this dude called Sly Diggler was there. And then Daphne was there, right? The model, the OnlyFans star. And then the baby oil was there. The whole time Diddy is like, whatever, walking around, handing them this oil and not really participating, not putting in any work, right? So I don't judge grown adults for what they choose to do with their time. If 3 grown adults want to come together and do whatever freak off activities that they want to do, like if they want to do this on their own time, that's their business. However, the part I do think the conversation does get more complicated is the filming and the leaking, right? Because consenting to be in a room is one thing, consenting to be filmed is another thing. And obviously I don't know if she consented to being filmed, but then again, I watched the footage and she could see that there was a camera there. And again, I watched the video for research purposes and she was loving it the whole time, okay? Damn. Actually, I didn't see the whole footage, but you get what I'm saying. Jeez. And I don't think it's right for this footage to come out. But then again, she is also like an OnlyFans star, so I don't get it. Like, if you're in that world and you're already comfortable with doing that, what's really the difference between this? Because also, this is going to feed into the OnlyFans page as well. Right. Like, this is probably the greatest promo as someone who does OnlyFans one could get. So I just don't really buy this whole innocent, I was just looking for love framing. Because looking for love with Diddy in a room with a nigga called Slide Diggler? Come on. During what we call or what people are calling a...
Not Slide Diggler, though. God damn. Sliding down that shit. Oh,
freak off. That does not sound like someone is looking for love and they know exactly what they're walking. They're walking into a tornado and they're being shocked that it's windy, okay? So to me, there's two conversations happening at once. One conversation is about what grown adults agreed to do behind closed doors, and on that part, I don't really care. These are grown people. They do what they do, right? But the second conversation is about who recorded the footage, who kept it, and who tried to sell it and who leaked it. So that part actually matters. So I guess we could have a conversation about that, because whoever leaked this footage is the real question here. Like, who leaked this footage? Now, according to the internet, some people are pointing fingers at this guy right here, DJ Vlad, and saying that he perhaps had something to do with it. Now, I don't know if this is true, and to be fair, Vlad actually denied leaking this.
Ain't that 6ix9ine chain, though? I think 6ix9ine had some shit like that, though.
This tape, okay? Now, the reason why people are bringing up DJ Vlad, and DJ Vlad is like this guy who he does interviews on YouTube. He's a popular hip-hop media outlet, okay? Or he runs a popular hip-hop media outlet. But people are bringing up DJ Vlad's name because Sly Diggler, the male porn star in this video with Diddy and Daphne, allegedly showed Vlad the footage during an interview they did like 6 months ago. So naturally, people are kind of like connecting the dots. Hey, DJ Vlad, you ended up seeing this footage like 6 to 5 months ago, whatever. And then now this footage leaks. And in that interview, Sly Diggler, I can't get over his name, Sly Diggler talks about how he allegedly ended up in these freak-off situations with Diddy and Daphne Joy. Another aspect of this whole situation is the conversation around Diddy supposedly getting revenge on 50 Cent. Because if you guys don't know, 50 Cent and Diddy have basically been beefing for 2 decades. This is not new. This is not like hidden. Like these guys hate each other, okay? So they've been going at each other for years upon years. And at this point, they hate each other as much as one person can physically hate another person without it being listed as a medical condition. So because Daphne Joy is 50 Cent's baby mother, one of the narratives online is that Diddy somehow got one up on 50. Like this is Diddy's way of getting revenge. And I'll be honest, that part I don't really agree with. Because here's the thing, Daphne Joy allegedly dated Diddy for a few years as well. So this wasn't just some random situation where Diddy woke up one day and said, you know what, let me go find 50 Cent's BM. From what's been reported, they had their own relationship, their own situation, their own history. And if I'm not mistaken, she appeared on some of the court documents during the whole Diddy case. So to turn that into Diddy got revenge on 50 Cent feels like people are just forcing the beef angle because 50 Cent is connected to her and then Diddy is also connected to her. And on top of that, just because this is a whole nother conversation, but just because you've been with somebody, just because you have a child with somebody, that does not mean that your worth as a man is now tied up in every decision that person makes for the rest of their life. And I think as men, we have a lot of ego when it comes to that. A woman can move on. She can date somebody else. She can make her own decisions and her own choices, right? And then somehow people will still look at the men she used to be with like he lost or they lost. But lost what? That's not his wife currently. That's not his girlfriend currently. And even if it was, you cannot control the decisions another person makes. That's a grown woman who had her own relationship with Diddy. And again, a person is always going to make their own decisions. So you can't tie your worth to the decisions another person makes with their own body. So I don't really buy the idea that Diddy embarrassed 50 Cent. If anything, I think people are projecting male ego onto the situation. Because dudes hear a baby mother and immediately start acting like the man is supposed to feel like, I don't know, like violated forever. But to me, the only way 50 Cent would have looked bad is if he crashed out, which I don't know if, was that a crash out?
I just feel like, shit, you got to be careful who you put your seed in, you know? Real talk. You don't know, these women crazy, chat.
I don't really say that. He just doesn't like Diddy, so whatever he said, I think is because he doesn't like Diddy. So no, I don't think this is Diddy getting revenge on 50 Cent. I think this is Diddy being involved in another situation. And even when 50 Cent isn't in the room, he still finds a way to get the funniest commentary out of it, right? So you can't control the actions of another person. You can't control who somebody dates after you. You can't control who somebody gets involved with. You can't control what somebody does once that relationship is over. All you can do is control how you respond. And this actually reminds me of a clip I just saw from Houston rapper Sauce Walka. So basically, he was on the phone with a woman who's said to be his baby mother. A lot of baby mothers here. And he was basically crashing out after she allegedly got involved with Drake.
I got you jumped by my hoes. I will put my hands on you, though. But I didn't. You got jumped by my black hoes. It's shit on video.
Yeah, because you had me set up. Are you proud of that?
Damn, bro.
I don't give a fuck. Just like I get Drake smoked.
Damn. So this is what I'm talking
His
about.
ass
That
crashed
man is
out.
out here reacting from his
Boy, his ass tweaking.
ego, reacting from the feeling of, how could you do that after being with me? Yo, by the way, didn't Drake say, if I call out your shorty right now, she picking up? This is what he was talking about. So as a man, you don't want to feel like another man got a one-up on you, but it's like, what do they get a one-up on? So this whole Diddy took your girl, or Diddy this, did this with your girl narrative, I think that's childish. Because at the end of the day, you can't control what another grown person chooses to do.
True.
But this new alleged Diddy freak-off tape has definitely made a lot of headlines. And I'm not going to lie, it does make you wonder if more of these videos are going to start surfacing. And I'm not asking for it, okay? I promise, I'm not asking for it. I do not need to see any more. I don't need to see that footage, period.
Shit, that shit crazy. I gotta see that shit. God damn. Alright, chat.